been very thankful for with being part of this program.
So hold on. Did you read my prompt?
Yeah, I was going to ask you to
Yeah.
mute that. Yeah, how has being part of this network impacted your organization? And really specifically talking about the Memphis Folk Life Network, kind of how it moves and what that's opened for you, what has happened since becoming that network?
I definitely can speak to that. So, first of all, when it was, I'll tell you a funny story. When I got the email, I don't know if it came from Maribel or not. It was Gmail, and it was kind of lengthy, and I read it. I read it a couple of times. I was like, I think this is a scam. I think it's a scam. So I took it up my sister's house and I showed my sister email. She was like, I don't know about that. I was talking about compensation. Like, this is unreal. Like, I'm this. So I called a couple of people, and I think Dorimar had already been in contact with everybody. So I talked to her, and she's like, yeah, it's this thing, and we're doing this. I was like, so you think it's true? It's legit. So my whole family was so skeptical, but I try anything one time. So I emailed back, yeah, I'm doing anything that sounds good and do it. So just walking into the unknown about it was really kind of crazy. And then, a couple of months later, they're like, come on, get on the plane, go to South Dakota. It's like, South Dakota. I'm a little boy from Memphis, a little black boy from Memphis. I don't think I want to go that far away. I may get kidnapped or whatever. But nevertheless, it was so funny because you just things just happen. You don't really know, but if you don't take the jump, you don't take the risk, especially if you're wanting to advocate for the work that you do, you never know what comes about it. And so I was so happy to walk into the unknown, even when we went to South Dakota and we all met together, just kind of hearing that even the people who put this thing together don't really know what's going to happen. The mystery of it all was like, okay, this is amazing. They want, they just want to bring out people that do great stuff. And I'm getting there and I'm meeting people like Tasha, I'm meeting people like Claudia. I'm like, oh my God, am I even worthy to be in the room? But then, I recognize that maybe I need to value what I do a little bit more and understand that, hey, okay, they're considering it to be folk art or whatever. So taking it, fast forwarding it to coming together with the people that we chose in Memphis, it helped me to respect other, I guess to understand there's more in Memphis going on than what's in Memphis. I'm from Memphis. I've moved away, went to college, and came back. And I know my city has its long history of trials and tribulations. There is a narrative of my city that definitely is 180% wrong. 80, turnaround of what it actually is if you live there. And a lot of the things are true, but a lot of the work that we do can change the narrative if someone knew about it or could be exposed to it. And so when NFN came along, I thought it was the perfect way for that to happen. It was the perfect medium, the perfect choice. So it wouldn't be fabricated with this, big media or something like that. It could be the true story to be told by real people with the exposing of, with us going out, being able to get our hands on real people like myself and the other people in my cohort are doing the real work. And like she said, maybe when you pulled up something for Memphis, these names come up. And in Memphis, that's just what it is. There's a separation between, the big arts and the big organizations and the big people that represent the culture, but they don't even touch the fabric of who really is doing the work, those people in our community who need the support or actually where those arts needs to reach. And so with our networks meeting, we have 6 people. We have a very great diverse group. Myself, um, who does the pageantry with the drum line and performing arts HBCU culture type thing that we teach our students. We have Dorimar, who has a bilingual theater that I've been on her for a few years, but never knew the magnitude of her work and what she does with just a little. She puts on amazing festivals each year with a small team of people, and she's very passionate about keeping undocumented people in arts, in work, and helping them become, stable and grow in their own artwork. You have Jay Cherie, who is from India, and she teaches Indian dance in our schools. I think she's the only one in Memphis that does that, like the only person. And so when you're talking about exposing our school children, her by herself, she has these amazing programs that she puts on teaching dance and the dressing with the whole dressing and stuff like that. And then you have Deborah, who is very big in the production and arts and music form when live performance and then stuff like that. Now we've added a new lady named Tracy, who's big in film. She does a lot of independent film work and film work that has meaning to it, not just for entertainment. And so with all of those people together, we're all like in 5 different areas of Memphis that would never have crossed paths if it wasn't for NFN. We just never would have. And then I brought on Deborah, but we don't do work in the same arena. We just cross over. And so now having our meetings, we meet weekly. We're meeting people. We've created I guess you said we named ourselves. I'm a very progressive person. So I went full in like, okay, we're going to meet every week. We kept asking ourselves like, what are we supposed to do? We would go back and ask, I know Alicia in the beginning was like, it doesn't matter, Corey, you can just, do what you want to do. Y'all can just, I'm like, oh, this sounds crazy. Cause like, we got to have a structure, but they were just giving us free reign to be free to say, looking at this mission, what you've learned in South Dakota, what can you put together to organize and bring representation to what you all do? And are there others, and create a network? And so we kept thinking, we talked, we have so many ideas, and it just keeps, it's ever changing, always evolving, but it's always bringing, something to the table. We're meeting new people. We haven't really unveiled our network to the city of Memphis. Nobody really knows who we are. So we're all kind of still working on our own terms, but we keep throwing that name out there. Folklight Network. I'm really big with marketing what we do on social media because it's free. And so a lot of people ask us about the network now. We're able to tell, always plug it in with different things. But what it has done, we've created some of the a resource project funding that we sent. We came with an idea to make an application. We're gonna give some artists some money. We have our first grantee from our little pot of money was this guy named Carlos who works closely with Dorimar. He was so excited. He applied for, I think we gave him $1,000 of NFN money. And he was able to go out and buy all of this video equipment for himself to record himself. He does mime. Does Spanish and everything. And so just to see how we're networking to meet him, one, and he was able to go with us to Detroit. So I was big on that because he's fully immersed in everything we're doing, and we get to find out what he's doing. And we were able, even when we used NFN funds to go to Detroit, we went to the World African Festival. Just being there, and then Carlos is there. He's one of our grantees. So it's just, we're getting so many benefits all in one circle for everything we're doing, all because of NFN. And it's so great not to have to follow a regimen or these policies or anything. We got the freedom to do whatever we need to do that brings about more representation for the work that we're all doing. And we're learning so much knowledge. We're learning. For myself, even with my own organization, learning that it is a heritage, a cultural thing. I just picked up band in high school, not knowing that my band director, because he went to a HBCU, what he learned and taught me and what I caught on to think it was great, is a passed on tradition that was created so long ago by people who had no other choice but to make something of their own, of their self, because they were restricted from, benefiting from other sources. So after so many years, you would think that people know about it, see it, but every time my students go perform somewhere, people are so excited to see what they do and how they do it. And I had to really go back. NFN has made me go back and think, okay, well, why would this be folk art? Or why is it traditional? Well, you would only know if you went to HBCU and someone had to pass it to you. So my teacher passed it to me, and then I ended up going to HBCU, and then they passed it to me. And then in the midst of it, I use my own creativity, what I know, to create the dance moves and the way we look, the uniforms, the different choices in repertoire and all of those good things that brings together this unique thing that they do that people love to see. And then in turn, what I think is best, it helps the students to grow as people because we are able to give them something to do. Our motto is all kids need something to do. Like that's just point blank. Everybody, all kids need something to do, whether it's to get with Tasha and make some, start learning how to make some stuff, get with me, pick up an instrument, get with Claudio, learn how to paint or do some artists, or play drums, because you showed me that yesterday. I didn't know he do all that. He does like so much. But doing all that, and now with NFN and organizing with the other people in our group, everything is intertwined. And I would lastly say, even just last week, Dorimar, which is in our cohort, her group, the bilingual theater, they had their annual Day of the Dead festival. I wish I knew how to Dule Monastros. I think. Yes, they say it again.
Dia de los Muertos.
Yes, that's the proper name. They had the festival. They've been doing it for a while. Never been. Last year they wanted us to lead the parade off, and we missed it. So this year we were supposed to do the same thing, and the bus had us late again. And I didn't know they bring almost like 2,000 or 3,000 people from Memphis to this, to the Brooks Art Museum to witness this festival. They're dressed up in the Day of Dead gear. And there's so many races and so many people from Memphis. This is just a jewel in Memphis to have, and I've never been. So I ended up taking my band. We got there late and we marched in anyway. We marched through the crowd, broke the crowd up, made a space in the front, and we performed. And I especially taught the band, I taught my group the song Waiting for Tonight. It's kind of old by J-Lo. So we can kind of have some Hispanic touch to it. So that's the last song we played, and everybody enjoyed it. And my students were like, okay, why have the skeleton faces? They never seen it before. So, just going from just what we're talking about now in FN to that, I would have never been able to expose them to that if we didn't cross the paths or to even understand how important the work that we're all doing. Because I would see or meet Dora Mom and okay, we go to Landfest, but now I understand me and her have a connection because in the end, so I made it my business to make sure we got there for those two reasons: to support Dora Maar and her event because I know she's working hard to do this, and to expose my students to it because they need to see other art forms and other work like that.
Beautiful. Thank you, Corey. Yeah, Claudio, tell us a little bit more from the wider